Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially Friday. We are only 17 days away from inauguration, baby, getting Donald Trump back in office, and hopefully even sooner than that, getting, I don't know, a new FBI director would be nice, Kash Patel, getting in a new DHS secretary, getting in a new Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. I mean, all that would be fine and dandy with me, because after what we've seen going on here, looks like we need some new administration. We need some new people here, because people like the FBI don't want to do their job. People like the FBI would rather hire based on DEI initiatives and quotas rather than this and seeing if you can actually do the job. We saw a little bit of that with the Secret Service when Donald Trump got shot in the head. And you had a 5'2" chubby chick go, what's happening? Looking for her gun. She's like, fucking, what am I doing? What do I look for? So now all our lives are at risk. We have a lot of updates here, a lot of bomb threats happening around the country. Freeways are being shut down. Planes are going into buildings in Southern California. Is it all a connection? Is it all terrorist attacks, or is it just coincidence, happenstance? We're going to break everything down for you on this Friday. And if you're new to our show, new to our channel, we do this each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. The nice thing about you jumping in on a Friday is this one's more relaxed. We hang out, we go over the news just like any other day. But like I said, it's a little bit more tame, and we spend a little bit more time in the chat with the fellow Patriots. So buckle up, baby, because we got a lot of stuff to cover here. And I haven't seen the majority of it. I pop some headlines and I go, let's do it. We got this right here. New Orleans truck ramming attack. We just call it for what it is. Terrorist attack, please. Even Fox is doing this crap now. Terror suspect seen on eerie surveillance hour before Bourbon Street carnage. So you all know, you're all up to date on what took place. A lot of people were injured. A lot of people were killed in this terrorist attack. Well, this guy was spotted, and this is him here, in jeans. It looked like he had on brown business shoes, walking, but he left a cooler. He left a cooler on the side of the road with an IED in it. That's pretty much all this is talking about here. I wish there was better stuff, but there might be the clip here. Let me see if this does cover it. It does not. So that's what this article's about. Let's see if they give us any like kind of juicy new updates. This investigation is only a little more than 24 hours old, and we have no indication at this point that anyone else is involved in this attack other than the Jabbar guy. Well, what about the other people they said that was putting IEDs everywhere else? Now, this is the problem with the FBI, right? They've lied to us before. And yes, Democrats, yes, they have. Stop it. Off the top of my head, at 6:10 in the morning, sure. The FD 1023 form. There you go. There's one for you. Don't you just love how we could just pull this out of our you-know-whats just like that? No prior research. It's not scripted. Don't have anything in front of me other than my coffee, a photo, and this thing, whatever the hell this is. But other than that, I got my phone. That's it. The FD 1023 form that Christopher Wray said didn't exist. And then Chuck Grassley held it up in front of him and go, what's this? And then all of a sudden he started fumbling through his words, just like Joey does. It's amazing when he gets caught with his pants down time and time again. The FBI is surging people and assets to the area from across the region and across the nation. Special agents in the field offices across the country are assisting with potential aspects of this investigation, following up on leads. Additional teams of special agents, professional staff, and victim specialists continue to arrive to provide more investigative power and assistance to victims and their families. Well, if you didn't lie to us so much, I'd want to believe a lot of what you're saying. I really would. I would love to have faith in those that are supposed to be protecting us and executing the laws that are on the books, but just the fact that you haven't done it the last 4 years and all you've done is cover up stuff. You try to cover your ass constantly. I mean, look what they did with this one. It wasn't a terrorist attack, then it was a terrorist attack, and then it wasn't, then it was. He was working with 5 other people, then he wasn't working with 5 other people. There was a bunch of IEDs in trash cans, and there was no IEDs in trash cans. Don't worry, guys, we got a lot of stuff here regarding the FBI today. A lot of stuff. And that's why we need Kash Patel big time. And just do a document dump. Really, just dump all the documents, Kash, from JFK to Roswell. I want UFOs. But all jokes aside, seriously, the JFK files, 9/11. I want January 6th stuff, which Joe Biden just came out and I don't want to say he pardoned people, but one of them he did. Liz Cheney gave her a it's like a civics medal or some stupid crap. We'll get to that. We got a lot of stuff to cover, folks. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button. It does support us, folks. We've been smashing that lately on YouTube, and it's been helping us tremendously. You guys, I don't know if you're aware of this. We're getting like 2,500 views for our hour-long podcast, which is bonkers. That means we're getting over 60,000 views a month on this hour-long podcast. That's crazy. And it's all thanks to you guys for tuning in each and every day, hitting that like button, and taking care of us here. Appreciate you. You got my 6, I got yours, baby. All right, let me wet my whistle a little bit because we had this taking place yesterday. IEDs galore. Seemed like every freeway in freaking every area had an IED in it. So IED on train car in Idaho leads to arrest of Brent Shabadabadoo. This 40-year-old was arrested after he was found attempting to ignite an improvised explosive device near a parked railroad car. The incident, which occurred late Wednesday, led to this dude being charged with a felony possession of a destructive device along with other charges. The police were alerted by footprints in the snow leading to the device, and after a brief pursuit, the dude was apprehended. The FBI has since been involved in the investigation due to the nature of the explosive device found. Oh, just lovely. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of guys. Here's the dude. Guy here. Explosive device found. I don't know what type of railway this is. If this is like a main artery for us and our supply chain, I'm not exactly sure. But what the hell's going on? Look at this winner, dude. What a hero, right? What a hero. He's an a-hole. A man was just been arrested, has planted an IED on a train. Said it was going to happen. Did we not? There's thousands of people here. Well, guys, I sit there, swipe through my phone all day. I read your comments, but I also just sit there and I'll swipe through the, news throughout the day. And the left go, well, they're all homegrown. Yeah, they're all American citizens. Yeah. What the hell does that have to do with anything? Well, you guys been talking so much about illegal immigration. There's thousands of terrorists here. Yeah. Okay. Both can be true at the same time. You can have homegrown terrorists here, as well as, I don't know, actual terrorists. We do this every day. Logic, common sense, their brain just doesn't. It's the wildest thing to me, man. Brain don't compute. So we don't have any updates on this. This is just all there was. Nobody seems to be wanting to cover this on the news. I had to find this on X. I didn't see it really anywhere else. I'm not saying it isn't. You got it on Idaho local news here. Might as well check them out. Let's give them a shout out for actually covering the damn thing. No terrorist attack or anything? No, not on this one. Actual IED found. The guy's sitting there with this freaking lighter trying to flick it in the cold ass weather. Just come on, man, please, come on. The police department were dispatched to the 600 block of North 8th Street on Wednesday around 5:54 p.m. regarding a suspicious individual trying to light something on fire near a parked railroad car. Officers found fresh footprints in the snow and tracked them to the train car. They located the suspect undetonated improvised explosive device. Officers found the footprints to a camp trailer parked near the residence. The suspect, identified as 40-year-old blah, 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 fled from the camp trailer on foot, but surrendered after a short pursuit. He was taken into custody, booked later. Additional charges: possession of destructive device, possession of a controlled substance, a felony, possession of paraphernalia, and resisting and obstructing officers. The bomb squad helped to render the device unsafe. Union Pacific was also notified, and all trains scheduled to travel through the incident site were put on standby for about 5 hours. An FBI agent also responded to this scene to assist the investigation. Did anybody hear about this on CNN, MSNBC, like mainstream media, that there's a freaking IED found on a railroad car? I didn't. I'm finding this on back channels. Nothing. But don't worry, I know just a homeless guy just trying to light a ciggy. The freaking IED explosive. Don't ask me. I don't know. You have this here, these guys on Real America's Voice talking about it, which is kind of nice that somebody else is bringing awareness to this.
What's this story now, Paul? You want to?
Yeah, let me go to it here. It's the Idaho Statesman. Let's see if it's going to make me pay. Trains halted, FBI involved. Explosive device found on train car in Treasure Valley. Police halted all train activity for hours after footprints of snow led officers to an explosive device on a train car on New Year's Day. Payette Police Department said it received the report regarding a suspicious subject who was seen attempting to light something on fire near a parked railroad car, 600 block of North 8th Street in Payette. So officers arriving at the scene just before 6 p.m. found fresh footprints leading to the train car that had a suspected undetonated improvised explosive device. Mm-hmm. So here we go again.
What's this story now, Paul? You want to?
Yeah, let me.
A lot of you are writing in the chat that this is the first you're hearing of it. That's why you come here. We take care of you, baby. Yeah. Everybody in the chat's like, I never heard of this before. Yep. It happened yesterday. Crazy. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad I was able to bring you something new here that the mainstream media won't. No terrorist attack, though. I don't know too many people that are just laying IEDs around the road that aren't terrorists, but I guess I'm wrong. We're going to try something new here. Please don't feel like you have to, folks. This is just something I told you I was going to try to do. We're trying to get 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2025 here. That means we need 32,500 people joining us. Road to 100K. I should have done this earlier. I don't know what the heck this means. I'm just clicking on stuff, but it's a fundraiser. Please don't feel like you have to. It's just there if you can, if you have the means. I figure if we do $20 every podcast, we can reach our goal and we can put that towards it. And I think we'll be able to do it. That's the vibe. But again, I'm not, don't feel like, again, I just want to hear it. Cause people go, oh, you're just begging for money. No. If you don't want to, don't do it. If you want to, then it's there for you. You guys know I love you. All right. So you would think that's it, right? You guys think that would be it? That would be the only IED or bomb threat going on, right? No, it's not. I-85 reopens in Greenville after bomb threat. Shut down an entire freeway with a big rig here. So on January 20, Jesus, God, let me take a sip of my coffee. I'm still trying to wake up. That's the tough thing about doing a morning show, man. Your brain just does not function. You're basically running like Joe Biden. Is this how Joey feels? On January 2nd, a bomb threat involving an 18-wheeler led to the closure of Interstate 85. I love you guys. I appreciate you dealing with my weirdness. Greenville County, South Carolina. Any South Carolina patriots in the chat? The threat prompted an extensive response from multiple law enforcement agencies, including the FBI once again. And the FBI's really have their work cut out for them all of a sudden, huh? Well, maybe if they did their damn job, they wouldn't have to be rushing all over the place all of a sudden to figure out if these are all terrorist attacks. The driver was taken into custody after an investigation. The area was deemed safe with no explosives found. Interstate 85 has since been reopened to traffic. Here's what that looked like. Now, this was closed down for quite some time. And again, I'm just going to ask everybody, anybody else hear about this? No, thank you, Karen, for always being here and taking care of us. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you. This wouldn't be as fun if I didn't have you. I would still do it. I'd just be talking to nobody. Be talking to myself. So there's the bigger kaboom. It just, no, I'm just kidding. So this is some other images here. I know you guys like pictures. See, the difference with us, we like pictures, and then the left color in pictures. There's a difference. They like the pop-ups, you know what I mean? That the visual displays. They don't read much. Here's some other images of it. Shut down. Diverting traffic. I haven't seen these myself, but it's a little pixelated. We can do better. We can do better, right? As the media. Nick Sorter didn't take these. I'm not blaming him. We're in 2024 here. We can do 4K, can't we? No? Okay. Sure. Whatever. Now, you think we'd be done with pipe bombs? Wait, hold on. What, Brad? What are you, what pipe bombs? There's more? Wait, what do you mean there's more? Yeah, there's more. Oh, there's more. We got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Now, we talked about this in the past, but guess what? Guess what came back in the news yesterday? FBI releases new information in search of J6 pipe bomb suspect. Now, a lot of people didn't know that there was pipe bombs on January 6th. What do I mean by that? Yeah, there was pipe bombs outside the DNC and RNC. And they found these pipe bombs just within like 12 to 15 minutes of one another, and just found them pretty much at the same time that people were starting to actually go inside the Capitol. Almost like it was coordinated. Now, here's the weird thing. You know how the left always like to chant, we're survivors. We're victims. Yeah, we survived a pandemic. Yeah, we're here. We're heroes. Yes. Kamala Harris was in the building. Secret Service was in their Escalades, their Suburbans, whatever you want to call them, sitting right outside. We had footage. We covered all of this, by the way, if you want to check out our video catalog. We covered this where, just sitting out there in the open, just having kids walk by the darn thing. And this guy comes up. He's like, da-da-da-da-da-da, walking by. Comes up to the car and goes, hey. We're not sure if this is what he said, but I would imagine this is probably pretty close. Hey, I just want to let you guys know there's a freaking pipe bomb right there. And then they just casually, dude, I'm talking like 1 or 2 minutes. This is not an exaggeration. Just casually getting their asses out of the car. La, 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 la. Oh, is there an IED? Oh, is that a group of 6 people walking by it? Thank you. And they're looking at it. They look down at it and they go, huh. And then they casually, still letting people walk by, a device, like one of those timers that grandma used to put on the oven, just that's one of those things. Goes back to the Suburban, everybody taking their sweet time with the VP-elect in the building. Would have walked past it, by the way. Lovely. Well, the FBI Washington field office released new information on Thursday, and as you guys are mentioning in the chat, 4 years late, correct, about the suspect, who they say placed pipe bombs near the headquarters of the RNC and the DNC building. Wow, I'm sure glad Liz Cheney got a medal for solving this thing. Oh, wait, she didn't. The FBI released new, never-before-seen video from the incident and announced that they believe the suspect is approximately 5'7". What year is it? It's 2025? This is the best they got? Hey, yeah, just let you guys know we got the guy's height finally. Yeah, we know how tall he is. Folks, I'm just going to bring up again the fact that they're arresting people for ordering hot dogs 5 blocks away from January 6th when a dude's just on vacation. Had nothing to do. No, this is great. Yeah. Really doing their jobs, huh? Making sure you're safe. Man, the FBI is really killing it right now. Normally, I'd find this funny. It's just frustrating as hell at this point. Approximately 5 feet 7 inches tall. Hope you guys can find him as part of a renewed push to locate the suspect. Oh, now you want to figure it out. Gotcha. They're offering a $500,000 reward for information leading to the arrest. We knew more about that guy that killed that healthcare CEO within 10, maybe even less than 10 hours than we do about the guy that's caught on footage here. No, honestly, not that much of a difference, by the way, with the face recognition and everything. Could have done that. Could have blasted this all over the airwaves. Does anybody else not find it odd that Kamala Harris wasn't calling herself a survivor and hero? That she survived an IED device, a pipe bomb, right next to her? Like, she's not going to come out and say that she had an assassination attempt on her life. I mean, Democrats never let a crisis go to waste. Why would she not? By the way, why was she in the building in the first place when she's supposed to be at the Capitol? Anybody else find that a little bit odd? Tarbox. The suspect placed the bombs between 7:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. the night before the riot to the U.S. Capitol. David Sundberg, assistant director in charge of the FBI Washington field office, said, over the past 4 years, a dedicated team of FBI agents, analysts, data scientists, and law enforcement partners had visited more than 1,200 residences. I'm about to throw up because I'm so tired of listening to all the BS. Conducted more than 1,000 interviews, reviewed approximately 39,000 video files, and assessed more than 600 tips about who may have placed pipe bombs on Capitol Hill in January 2021. The tips the FBI had received so far have helped us advance the investigation, but they have not led us to identify the suspect. He continued, today, we are releasing additional information about the suspect. Why are they making it a big deal that they're releasing the guy's height? Including that we estimate the person to be approximately 5 feet 7 inches tall to encourage the public to take a fresh look. Dude, you really can't make this up. This is real. No, guys, it's not a joke. Stop. No, this is real. Yeah, this is the best we got. The best and brightest. Here we go. King says Joe Biden tries to max damage America in his waning days. Exactly. I mean, hell, look what he did with the freaking border wall. Correctamundo, sir. Released in the new information are close-up photos of the shoes. Oh, fuck, this is real. We got video. Hey, I haven't seen it. Let's see what they can put together. Okay. I don't know what the budget is for the FBI, but let's see the work they can do here 4 or 5 years later.
January 5th, 2021, between 7:30 and 8:30 p.m., an unidentified individual placed pipe bombs near the offices of the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee in Washington, D.C. As we mark the 4-year anniversary of the night the pipe bombs were placed on Capitol Hill, the FBI and our partners are renewing our call for tips from the public to help us identify the suspect. We are releasing additional details about the suspect, as well as previously unreleased video of the suspect placing the bomb at the Democratic National Committee. A reward of up to $500,000 is available for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the individual responsible for this attempted attack. If you have any information, please call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. You can also submit tips online at tips.fbi.gov. One previously unreleased detail is the FBI's estimate of the suspect's height to be approximately 5 foot 7 inches tall. The suspect wore a face mask, a gray hooded sweatshirt, and black gloves. They used a backpack to transport each of the devices. They were wearing distinctive Nike Air Max Speed Turf shoes, which are black and gray with the yellow Nike logo. Fewer than 25,000 of these shoes were sold between August 2018 and January 2021. The first time the suspect is seen is at approximately 7:34 p.m. at the intersection of 1st Street and North Carolina Avenue Southeast. The person walks southwest on North Carolina Avenue, turns north on New Jersey Avenue, west on D Street, and then south on South Capitol Street. This footage of the suspect on South Capitol Street shows the person setting down their backpack, which is believed to contain one of the bombs at this time. The suspect appears to put on a pair of glasses and scan the area, standing on tiptoes.
Exactly.
Picking up
Walks
the backpack,
from where? Yep.
turning around and heading back.
They're telling me they can't track this guy in D.C. I used to live there. They got cameras everywhere.
The way they came on South Capitol Street. After reaching the corner of D Street, the suspect turns around again, and this time walks south all the way down South Capitol Street to a bench outside the Democratic National Committee headquarters building. Here we see the suspects sit on the bench for a few minutes. They do not place the bomb at this time. The suspect then walks east on Ivy Street, turns north on New Jersey Avenue, and then pauses near the corner of D Street before retracing their steps back to the DNC bench where the first bomb is placed.
You want to know how allegedly how little they have? They're spending more time telling us this guy is footsteps than they are actually telling us anything about the guy. It's a big deal that they're coming out with this height. Yeah, 5'7". 4 years later, wow, great job. Money well spent, you guys. Wow, like we couldn't look at the trash can in the back and go, okay, yeah, his height's about, his waist is probably about yay high. Okay, I could probably figure it out. Then they go on like it's a huge deal going, okay, hey, he's wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and black gloves. Wow. Hey, you guys want to know something new too? He has a mask on. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just found that out, wearing a mask. Yeah. Yeah, he has black gloves on as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see that there? That's a string. You can pull with your hood. People are idiots, man. I don't think we need to watch any more of it. They're not detailing anything else. They're just telling, he walked down the street, he turned to left, and then he stubbed his toe, and then he said, ouchie, ouchie. Let's see what people had to say here in the comment section. Why does this guy speaking sound like James Carb? I don't know who that is. You always give us right information when we need it the most. Thank you. It has to be sarcasm. There ain't no way in hell that's real. It slides over just a little bit. There we go. Breaking: Congress just released bombshell findings on the January 6th pipe bomb investigation, revealing that the FBI engaged in a massive cover-up. Maybe. The committee determined that there is conflicting information as to whether the FBI received corrupted cellular data from the major cell phone carriers. A former senior FBI official testified that the major cell carrier companies provided corrupted cell data to the FBI and suggested that that corrupted data may have contained the identity of the pipe bomber. However, in response to letters from the subcommittee, the major cell phone carriers confirmed that they did not provide corrupted data to the FBI, and the FBI never notified them of any issues with accessing the cellular data. After more than 1,400 days since 2 pipe bombs were placed on Capitol Hill, the FBI has made no arrest and has charged no individuals with planting the explosives. Since its initial progress in the early weeks and months of the investigation, there have been little meaningful progress toward the apprehension of the suspect. Huh. Convenient. Do you mean to tell me they were able to track down and arrest hundreds of January 6ers mere days after January 6th, but still can't get their hands on the actual terrorists who engaged in the endangered the entire government? Yeah, we're not buying what they're selling. Everyone at the FBI must get arrested. I don't know if I believe that, George. I actually follow George. But I think a lot of them should be fired. That's for darn sure. You also have this here. According to the committee, the FBI identified multiple persons of interest during the initial weeks and months of the investigation, yet somehow still failed to identify the suspect. They also refused to provide the subcommittee with additional information about these investigative leads. I mean, it's not that hard if you know the type of shoe that he's wearing. You can figure it out there. So again, here's the footage. Pipe bombs here. This is where pedestrians walk. And just, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, let's just go. Oh, yeah, it might be here. Oh, yeah, let's just take a little peek. Da, 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 da. I don't know why it's taking so long to get there, by the way. It's literally right next to us. Not, this distance is not far. Jesus, man. La, 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 just back it on in. So this is the guy that's notifying them that, hey, just want to let you guys know that there's a pipe bomb right here. This is the part that's telling you about. No big deal. Yeah. The vice president-elect is in this building. Secret Service, Capitol Police. Oh, hey, yeah, just let that guy walk by really quick. Not a big deal. The guy's telling there's a freaking bomb right here, and he just let him go by. Hey, you're good. Folks, there's NPCs walking amongst us. And this is why I believe we're quite possibly in a simulation. Ain't no way. Unbelievable. So there's the update regarding January 6th. But don't worry, there's another update regarding January 6th. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it for you. I got a lot of tabs open. Let me find it. Hang with me right here. Biden trashed for honoring January 6th committees Thompson and Cheney. No. He spends 2 years on vacation. That's not an exaggeration, right? He's over 40%. He's in there for 4 years. The dude spent half his presidency on vacation. President Joe Biden took a wave of backlash after it was announced on Thursday that he planned to honor Representative Benny Thompson and former Representative Liz Cheney with the Presidential Citizens Medal before he leaves office. Quote, throughout 2 decades in public service, including as a congresswoman for Wyoming and vice chair of the committee on January 6th attack, Liz Cheney has raised her voice and reached across the aisle to defend our nation and the ideals we stand for, freedom, dignity, and decency, the White House said of the former Wyoming congresswoman, who was routed in the 2022 Republican primary after she voluntarily joined the lopsided January 6th committee. Her integrity and intrepidness or whatever, intrepidness, remind us of what is possible if we work together. Where was she on the pipe bomb? She's the hero, you guys. Yeah, you know, she's making a big difference for all of us. She's keeping us safe. Appreciate you, Q. Thank you. With the 20... Q met the freaking thing already? Happy New Year, Patriots, Brad. Thanks for all the laughs and receipts. Thank you, Q. Nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wow. I'll see you guys later. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Q. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Trying to meet our goal. Very, very kind of you with the funding. Thank you so much. Helping me out tremendously, by the way. Well, let's continue here. Biden also plans to award Representative Thompson, who chaired the January 6th committee, along with 18 others. I always emphasize this. Do y'all remember that there was a bunch of footage, like 40,000 hours of footage, and Tucker Carlson got his hands on it? And then we were all wondering, wait, if there's 40,000 hours, why do they keep showing us like the same 4 to 6 minute loop of the same footage? If you have 40,000 hours of something, you couldn't find more than 4 minutes of actual footage of how terrible it really was. And so Tucker Carlson, y'all remember this, goes on Fox News and he's like, yeah, we combed through the 40,000 hours. Turns out that these committee members, this lady here, had actually seen a lot of it, majority of it. And Tucker goes, there's actually timestamps that shows where these people, these politicians, looked at the footage. And so Tucker's showing us all this great footage of people being escorted through the Capitol by Capitol Police, not arrested, not smushing their face into the ground, or no, just kind of shooting the shit. Hey man, how you doing? Yeah, weather's good. Mind you, our government's allegedly being taken over at this time. Yeah, our government's being ransacked, according to the Democrats. It's the worst day in history. It was worse than Pearl Harbor, was how they correlated it. Worse than Pearl Harbor, which is a slap in the face to all the veterans in Pearl Harbor, like my grandfather. So they're being escorted around, Hey, if you go over here, oh, you want this door unlocked? Yeah, come on in, no problem. No joke. It's not like Joe Biden. No joke. No, seriously. The January 6th committee was called out during a committee hearing. And you want to know who they blamed it on of why they didn't release all 40,000 hours and that they actually didn't see the footage? You want to know who they blamed it on? Their staffers. Yeah, they blamed it on their staffers. I bring it up all the time because Democrats and Liz Cheney will never take responsibility for their actions. In the same way, Joe Biden, you want to know who he blamed for having classified documents next to his Corvette in the Biden Pence Center and just laying around everywhere? Anybody want to take a stab? His staffers. Yeah, he blamed his staffers for having classified documents in his own house. I was moving and they just planted boxes there. I had no idea. It's always somebody else's fault. President Biden rewards Liz Cheney for her witness tampering and obstruction of justice in January 6th show trial she ran, crediting to everyone. Well done. That's from Molly Hemingway. Nice. Yes, correct. Cheney receives a participation trophy from Biden for leading a political witch hunt against President Trump and alleging tampering with evidence. You got John here saying, I never understood why people would turn down high honors and accolades. Now I do. Khan is getting a knighthood. Cheney is getting the Presidential Citizens Award. These awards are not only meaningless, they are a trophy for complicity in a rotten system. Yes, this is repulsive. The investigation was done by a committee, all of whose members were chosen by Nancy Pelosi, and was produced like a TV show. There was no cross-examination of witnesses. The media fell for it, but it was utterly one-sided, a show trial. How come they never brought up on the committee the pipe bombs? I didn't know about the pipe bombs until last year. I don't think a lot of people did until Dan Bongino started talking about it, and all the other people that he was involved with. I forgot who kind of was heading that. There was a reporter. I should know his name. Forgive me. I'm butchering it. But Dan Bongino talked about it. That's the only way I found out there was pipe bombs on January 6th. You would think that was pretty big news, right? If I could find an IED in the middle of South Carolina yesterday by some homeless dude that's probably trying to light his food with an explosive device, and I don't know about a pipe bomb until like 3 years later. No, she did a great job. She has a Citizens Award, you guys. Yeah. She's getting to the bottom line. I believe Hans goes, I believe Paul Pelosi is about 5'7". Just a reminder, Liz Cheney lost her seat in the House of Representatives because her own constituents loathed her for the role she played in trying to take down Donald Trump. You got Dustin Gregg here. It's mostly funny because Joe Biden has been considering giving Liz Cheney a blanket pardon, but now she's getting a presidential award truly beyond parody. Yeah, there's a callback. The fact that he is trying to give her a pardon and everybody else there, huh? Really weird, Joey. Really weird. Really weird. Holy Lordy. No, we're not done with bombs yet. I feel like it's that scene from Meet the Fockers with what's his face? Where he's on the plane. Y'all remember this one? Hold on a second. I'm gonna get this geared up for you. This is the theme. I love when he goes bomb, 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 bomb. Oh boy. People are saying, yes, love that movie. Libs just protecting their dwindling voter base. Don't want to hurt feelings. Correct. Shout out to Buford. Buttfish. You guys and your names. Brad, thank you for the comedy. No, thank you for listening and joining me as I act like a complete fool for everybody. Okay, we got more updates here. We got a lot of news. Jeez, we're 47 minutes into the show. We got so many tabs. All right. New Orleans attacker had a remote detonator for explosives in French Quarter, Biden says. You think Biden remembers that he said that? New Orleans, mind you, I do want to emphasize this guy, the New Orleans attacker, the terrorist, let's call it for what it is, was he had a cooler. Like, you know, one of those ones that you pull, you know, as the thing that pops up because it's so big. Yeah, he just set it there and he walked away. New Orleans attacker acted alone and planted remote detonator. So it's just amazing how quick that changed, right? It's not a terrorist. Well, let me rephrase. They come out, it's a terrorist attack. Then the FBI comes out and says it wasn't a terrorist attack. And then they come out and say, oh, okay, yeah, it's not a terrorist attack. And then they come out and go, well, it's a terrorist attack and he's working with other terrorists. And now it's out, oh, well, he's a terrorist with an ISIS flag, but we're not sure he had an ISIS flag that was inside the car, it was on the tail of the hitch of the car. Oh, wait a minute, it was on the tail of the car. We actually got a photo of it now. Yeah, no, it's a terrorist attack, but he wasn't working with anybody all of a sudden. But yet we have footage of people dropping bombs around the place. What kind of shoddy work is this? This is why you don't do DEI. I mean, it's just bottom line. That's why you don't do DEI. Well, allegedly he acted alone, you guys, and planted remote detonator explosives inside coolers. There you go. In 2 nearby locations in the French Quarter just a few hours before he drove a pickup truck at a high rate of speed into a crowd of people celebrating New Year's on Bourbon Street. We have no information about anyone else was involved in the attack. During a news conference about his administration's 235 judicial confirmations, they've established that the attacker was the same person who planted the explosives in those ice coolers in 2 nearby locations in the French Quarter. Just a few hours before he rammed into the crowd of the vehicle, they assessed he had a remote detonator in his vehicle to set off those 2 ice chests. My curiosity is, did he try to detonate them and it didn't work? I don't know. I mean, why would you go all the way for that, right? I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Biden stated federal investigator agents are potential links to... Okay, here we go. Biden stated that federal agents are investigating potential leaks to the Las Vegas explosion, also probed as a terrorist attack, and urged them to accelerate their efforts. 14 people were killed, and Jabbar died in the shootout with police. As of now, they've just been briefed, Biden said. They have not found any evidence of such a connection so far. I've directed them to keep looking. This is what a lot of people are talking about, that the guy from New Orleans and the guy from Las Vegas were on the same military base at the same time, and they both allegedly rented their vehicles from the same place. I mean, come on, man. I get coincidences, but that's to say that that's not linked. My antennas are going through the roof here. And I'm not going to believe necessarily the FBI and Joe Biden anymore for the amount of lies that these guys have told. I was thinking about this last night. I do a lot of thinking, believe it or not. I was going to do a video. Does nobody find it odd that we had to listen from 2016 to 2020 for 4 years, every day, of the Democrats and the progressive left calling Trump a liar, a racist, a misogynist, a pig, like all these names, right? All these names. For 4 years, we had to listen to these guys. He's a liar. He's not trustworthy. He's trying to overthrow the government. Look what he's doing. He's trying to destroy our country. He's going to take away my rights. For 4 years, we had to listen to this crap. Have you guys noticed? Not a peep. Not a peep from Democrats about anything Joe's done. The lying, the classified documents, the embezzlement of money, millions of dollars. Not even a smudge of curiosity from them. The lying, the constant lying. The terrorists that are here. People being beheaded, chopped up, left in the streets. Nothing. The 340,000 minimum children have gone missing. Nobody finds it a little bit odd that we haven't heard jack bleep from all those people. All those keyboard warriors that we're even friends with, because some of them are our friends. Yeah, no concern. Never heard anything. Weird, right? But then the second Donald Trump comes out and goes, look, I told you there's illegals here. There's terrorists in the country. Crime is up. They go, look what Donald did. He's a liar. The person's not even a legal immigrant. What an idiot. Somebody commented on there, I think it was Richard, goes, well, Donald Trump's a liar. He said the guy was an illegal immigrant. My response to the guy in the comment section was, can you post where he said the guy was an illegal immigrant? I didn't see it. The funny thing was on my show, I actually talked about how there's this here without making sense. We have more updates. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to get to more news in just one moment. Hitting that like button really does help, folks. Believe it or not, it actually does here. I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, and one of our sponsors is going to be Positive, folks. Can we get a little bit of positivity? But this time, it's talking about something a little bit different. If you have a dog, we've all been there. Our pup goes from full-blown energy to sick and miserable in an instant, and at the worst of times, by the way. Then we're calling the vets in the middle of the night, freaking out, or even on the weekends, trying to find a clinic that will just take you in. It's a terrible way to manage your dog's health, not to mention your stress levels and your monthly budget. If you don't get this, you're going to go bald like me. That's why people are getting Pet Emergency Kit by Positive. It contains critical medications and supplies that not only keep you out of the veterinary office, but may even save your dog's life. Their kits contain critical medications like activated charcoal, septic powder, and more. It might save your dog's life. Head over to positive.com and use code STUDIO to get 15% off your pet emergency kit. We plugged them before. It's positive, P-A-W-sitive.com, and use code STUDIO to get 15% off your pet emergency kit. I'm a dog lover. I grew up with dogs, animals, cats, fish, the whole shebang. And I'm a believer in making sure we take care of our other family friends. And some call it the best friend. They're always happy when you come home. Some of them aren't, but most of them are. Could have been Hunter. Jesus, you guys, Missy. Let's spend a little bit in the chat before I get into the New Orleans news here. My crazy libtard brother and sister-in-law called Trump a pedo. Man, that's crazy. What the F? When I asked why, they say he has done things. That sounds like a libtard. Yes, it does. Joanne says yes, and all the name calling and blaming and BS has started up all over again. It's disgusting and nothing towards Biden. They're blaming Trump for a bleep he hasn't even ever done. He's not the president. Yes, Joanne hitting it perfect. Winter says Trump said that early because that's what they were saying first, that he drove over the border, went to Texas and NOLA. Don't know where they got that. Yeah, but he never even said the guy was an illegal immigrant. He just said there's a bunch of illegals here in the first place. He never actually claimed that the guy was illegal. If I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. I mean, you guys will call me out. You got no problem doing that. And that's what we need to do is make sure we get it right. But I looked through all his threads. I even looked through he actually posted on X for the first time in a while. Normally he posts on Truth Social, and then he has this person take the screenshot of Truth Social and post it on X. He actually posted for the first time in a long time on X yesterday. Leftoids that say Trump is a pedo are trying to deflect for what they do. That Dave has it right there. Dave has it correct. I've always say whatever they're doing, they like to project it on the others. Well, New Orleans terrorist hometown mosque tells members to refer inquiries to CAR. Here we go. A mosque near the home of the suspected ISIS member behind the New Year's Eve terrorist attack directed members of the FBI inquiries to CAR? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a controversial group whose leaders celebrated. Oh, okay. All right. Whoa, we're getting a little. Here we go. Buckle up. A controversial group whose leaders celebrated Hamas's October 7th terrorist attack on Israeli civilians. Gotcha. 15 people were killed and 35 injured. We've been through that. An American citizen and Army veteran of Texas rammed a white pickup truck. We know that. The Houston Balal, I don't know what this is, which is affiliated with the Islamic Society of Greater Houston, posted to social media encouraging his members not to respond to inquiries from the media. And if approached by the FBI and a response is necessary, please refer them to, is it CARE? Is that how you say that? CAIR? I've never heard that before. I'm not really involved in that realm of faith, but whatever. The statement instructed members to remain vigilant and added that it is crucial that we stay united at this time as we condemn these terrible acts. The Middle East Media Research Institute shared a video on Thursday of this imam going on an anti-Semitic tirade where he explains why he thinks Hitler killed Jews. Why does the whole world want them to stay in Palestine? Well, they're not staying in Palestine. You guys weren't even occupied for a long time. Because if they don't stay in Palestine, they will go back to their countries, and they like to take control of the economy everywhere they go. That is why the other countries don't want them back. Until this guy Hitler, with the nice mustache, came to power, he became empowered. And we all know what he did. By the way, Hitler hated the Israelites so bad because of the economy thing that they were in control of the economy. Jeez, dude. Oh, boy. Oh, it's pronounced care. Thank you. See, you guys got me. You got my 6. I don't know everything. Let's just listen to what this guy says really quick. I want to see this knucklehead.
Imagine in Europe what was happening to the Banu Israel there. As we said, killed, destroyed, persecuted. Now the question is why? Why were they always treated this way? And why does the whole world today support them? Why does the whole world want them to stay in Palestine? Because if they don't stay in Palestine, they will go back to their countries. And those people, unfortunately, have one problem. Well, they have many problems, but that's one of the main problems. They like to take control of the economy everywhere they go. Whatever, again, the rule, as long as I get to my goal, the means don't matter. Interest, usury is haram for them. Still, they use it to get control of the economy. And that's why the other countries don't want them back. So when they support them, they're not supporting them because they love them. It's like, please stay there, we'll do whatever you want, just stay there, don't come back. And Allah calls that in the Quran, وَيَسْعَوْنَ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَسَادًا وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. They see corruption of the land. Now, in the First World War, Germany won or lost? Lost. Until this guy...
This guy's a doctor. He's a doctor.
Hitler, with a nice mustache, he became in power, and we all know what he did. And by the way, Hitler hated the Banu Israel so bad because of the economy thing. They were in control of the economy. But not only that, they used to consider them a lower level citizen. And they used to believe that the German blood is above every other blood. Hitler not only killed many of Banu Israel.
That's okay. So this guy goes on his trade. I do want to comment on this because I can actually correlate to this, the Democrat Party. They use to believe that German blood is above every other blood, which there is truth to that. And how am I going to correlate to the Democrat Party? Folks, the Democrats used to use that, like one drop makes you a black person. Do y'all remember that? Way back when? That if you had like 1 ounce there, it was like the one drop rule or whatever it was. Basically, the idea was that even if you had 1 drop of, African-American black blood, doesn't matter how they want to phrase it, that you were deemed to be black. And that was going to lead to some massive problems for you. And this is what the Democrat Party wanted to do. Do you want to know how crazy it was that even Hitler talked about it in transcripts about how Democrats were so insane for that ideology that he wasn't even going to do that? There's a callback in history for you that nobody wants to talk about in the public education system. And that's why you get a doctorate degree like that guy. Now, you would think that, okay, Biden's going to be a little bit more harsh on people that support terrorism, right? That he's not going to continue to give $87 million a week to the Taliban. He's not going to continue to give money to the Iranians, and all these things. Yeah, you would think, right? You would think. Well, what if I told you that the Biden administration gave a free pass to 1 billion Iranian oil smuggling operation? You just spit out your coffee. Wait, what? What? Brad, I can't take any more of the news. IEDs, explosives, terrorist attacks, planes falling from the sky into buildings in Fullerton, and now this. I can't do it. I'm tapping out. No, he did. Yeah. We're going to cover it in just one moment. If you could, hit that like button, folks. We also have an initiative going on. We have an initiative. There's only 2 minutes left. We're trying to raise funds for advertising here on the show because we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. And all help and proceeds would be greatly appreciated. Don't feel like you have to, but it is there if you want to support and have the means. We're going to have a goal every single episode pretty much throughout the entire year to help fund this thing. And then I'm going to try to work more hours on my third job to fund it as well. So that's how we're going to do it. Sounds like a movie, Brad. Yeah, and actually there was a chat in here I want to read. I did think it was interesting. It was Winter. Where are you? Winter. I saw it up there somewhere. God, there's so many chats. Winter said, Winter said is basically the same kind of group that was around 9/11 in the mosques of that area. I don't know where it was at, but I saw it. I apologize, dude. There we go. CARE is the mosque group that set up shop in New York City on 9/11 ground. So maybe if you heard of that before. He also said in New York, lots of people mad at CARE, calling itself Cordoba House in 9/11 site. Cordoba is first place they took in Spain. Muslims believe once they conquer a place, it's theirs forever. I remember that whole thing where they wanted to build a mosque like a block from the 9/11 site or something like that years and years and years ago. Well, let's get into this then. Thank you so much for hitting that like button, folks. It does help and support the show, believe it or not. And you just watching does tremendous efforts in supporting us. So I really want to thank all of you for tuning in. to my channel each and every morning. Again, we do the 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Friday's a little bit more loosey-goosey, but I guess not today because this is some bonkers. Biden administration reportedly ignored oil smuggling that netted the Iranians an estimated $1 billion annually, despite being well informed on the operation. I'm going to keep it together. Just breathe. The article doesn't do justice. And that's why you got to get in there. You know what I mean? You can't just read headlines and move past it. Why do I say that? Not $1 billion. Netted $1 billion annually. How long's Joey been in office? 4 years. Folks, that money that John Kirby and Jake Sullivan said was frozen, the money that went from South Korea to Qatar, that was allegedly frozen, is unfrozen now. And the Iranians have come out and said, we covered this like two weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago at this point, the $10 billion of humanitarian aid that John Kirby and Jake Sullivan were saying, oh, no, we're managing it. Yeah, with third-party vendors, we get to decide how they spend the money. The Iranians come out and said, no, it's our money. We're going to spend it. Yeah, they're telling you that your money is now theirs, and we all know how they're going to spend it. Come on. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the Iranians had some involvement in the New Orleans and the Vegas stuff. Wouldn't shock me if you follow the money. $1 billion annually. So $10 billion of humanitarian aid, carry the 1, up the 2, make it a 3, ... bada bing, bada boom, 14 billion. Joey, that we know of, has helped them. Leading sponsor of terrorism. Folks, this guy is hooking them up while they are blowing our merchant vessels out of the ocean and our allies. We've shown 3-4 clips of merchant vessels being blown up here on the show. That's why you want to tune in each and every day, folks. You're gonna be taken care of here. A group of international intelligence agencies compiled a 45-page report in April outlining a $1 billion Iranian oil smuggling operation and shared the information with officials from the state and treasury departments, as well as members of the U.S. intelligence community. Unbelievable. U.S. officials took multiple briefings on the report that showed Iran earning at least $1 billion annually from selling oil through Iraqi intermediaries. Not to mention that Iraq is also selling energy to the Iranians, by the way. We also covered that. So it's more than 14 billion. The Biden administration did not act on the information and gave Iran a free pass to sell its fuel in violation of U.S. sanctions. Lovely. The guy's doing great things for this country. Hey, remember, all this here, not a peep from the Democrats. Not a big deal. Yeah, these people want to wipe you off the face of the earth. That's fine. No, take care of them. Make sure they're doing okay. No, the Iranian people are fine. It's the government that hates you. These people here, the government, just call it for what it is. Anytime I talk about the Iranians, guess what I get? Guess what I get? I get death threats. Anytime I talk about the Iranians, they're good. Yeah, let them here. That's fine. Yeah, my life's not at risk. Not a big deal. I'm not joking about that, by the way. I'm dead. I'm as serious as a heart attack. Despite Iran's growing and dominant role in Iraq, the Biden administration has refused to sanction or meaningful confront their role in an effort to protect the current Iraqi Prime Minister, Sudani, and to portray Iraq as a constructive regional partner. The approach deliberately ignores the reality that Iran and its proxies effectively control Iraq's institutions, including the industrial fuel smuggling and crude, commingling? It's as if the Biden administration wants to hide the fact that Iraq remains Iran's most important client state. It sounds like something we covered a long time ago. Reuters reported earlier last month that the oil smuggling scheme netted Iran $1 billion a year since 2022, when the Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, not bad for the morning, right, folks? I couldn't even hit that again if I tried. Some estimates showed Iran earning as much as $3 billion. Holy crap. Yes, I'm gonna read it again. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Some estimates showed Iran earning as much as $3 billion annually. A State Department official at the time said the U.S. officials had spoken with Iraqi officials about the operation and its illegality under U.S. sanctions. Well, there's the double middle finger again that nobody takes Joe Biden seriously. This is what happens when you're freaking an old man walking as like Tales of the Crypt trying to tell us a story about how you sniffed a child when this stuff's going on. While we do not comment on specific discussions, we can affirm the department has emphasized with our Iraqi counterparts, the harms of illicit trade and our support for bringing oil transparency to the market. Man, Joe's doing great things. Joe's doing great things. Deborah says, if you are getting death threats, then I pray you have conceal and carry. Iran wants to kill all Americans. Let's just say that I don't want the government, but, I'm going to be okay. Locked and loaded, baby. U.S. officials reportedly learned, I mean, come on, the hat says it all, right? Just, the hat, the look, everything about don't F with me. U.S. officials reportedly learned of an illicit oil selling scheme just months after Hamas, one of the groups in Tehran's extensive terror network, invaded Israel and killing 1,200 people. But don't worry, Joe Biden still wants them to sell oil. Hello from Tennessee. Kingdom come from Jeff Davis. Shout out. Heck yeah. Tennessee might move there one day. Sanctions on Iran's administration, administered by President Trump during his first term, wrecked Iran financially, but Tehran regained some of its wealth, an estimated, oh my God. You guys see that number? Are we seeing that number? I'm going to start this paragraph over again. Sanctions on Iran administered by President Trump during his first term wrecked Iran financially, but Tehran regained some of its wealth, an estimated $200 billion selling oil after the Biden administration took over. Those funds have been used in part to support Iran's terror proxies, including Hezbollah and the Houthis. And then the Democrats can't fathom why I get so pissed off that they want to vote for Joe or Kamala again. Hey, remember, not a peep from them, right? They're not outraged over this. No, we're helping them. What do you mean? Like, what do you say when you cover this every single day in the news? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much more commentary I can give other than just giving the news and going like, we have updates on the Las Vegas side of things with that guy. Well, the man who detonated Cybertruck died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. So again, shout out to Krager for getting a lot of that going during our live of saying it's fireworks and check it out, read on the Daily Wire and all that stuff. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you. The Las Vegas Metro Police Department said on Thursday that the man who blew up the Tesla Cybertruck in front of the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas this week died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Authorities identified the man responsible for the detonation as Matthew Livesberger, a 37-year-old active U.S. Army Green Beret. Officials were waiting for DNA verification to be completed to officially confirm his identity since the body was severely disfigured. A government identification card and passport belonging to the individual were found inside the vehicle. A lot of you were commenting, so wait a minute, you're telling me that this guy was burned beyond recognition, but his government ID survived? The dude died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound before the explosion occurred. Isn't it amazing we can just get all this information about something, but we can't get anything from the January 6th guy, the pipe bomb guy? Police said the investigators found 2 firearms, fireworks, gas canisters, and other miscellaneous items as well. The level of sophistication is not what we would expect from an individual with this type of military experience, a special agent in charge of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Lisenberger was the only person killed in the explosion. Several people standing nearby were injured. Want me to throw a conspiracy theory at you that I just came up with right now as I was thinking? What if the dude never did it? What do I mean by that? Well, these Teslas drive themselves, right? What are the odds? And you'll only be able to find this out. What are the odds that this thing was already programmed to show up and they use this dude as a front to do this type of explosive device that somebody just detonated it from somewhere else? I don't know. Hey, I want to be clear. It's a conspiracy theory. I completely made it up right now. Mizzy says husband said the same thing. I'm not crazy. It's possible. Musk's team right now, there is video of it. They actually showed it. Musk's team is pulling the data from the Cybertruck right now. Brad, dude, I think he was already dead with the bullet in his head. Yeah, see, everybody's with me on this. I've heard people say that too. Now, I'll be honest, I wish that I was the one that came up with it, I guess, but everyone else is talking about it, so I guess not that cool. When you have like this awesome idea and you try to tell everybody about it, holy shit, I'm a genius. You're not anymore. Yo, I thought I came up with something new there, and everyone's like, nah, no, my husband talked about it last night over dinner. Shit. Well, whatever. Sorry. I love you guys. You're the best people. Sean Ryan releasing a video on it today. I'll make sure I check that out. You're cool, Brad. I'm an idiot, is what I am, but I love doing it. It's not lost on us that it's in front of the Trump building, that it's a Tesla vehicle, but we don't have information at this point that definitively tells us or suggests it was because of this particular ideology. That's what's weird about it, right? And what people are saying was that this guy was a Trump supporter, from what I've heard, or one of the, I heard that it was this guy that was a Trump supporter. I don't know if that's true, but that's what his family members were saying, that he loved Trump, he's beloved. So something ain't adding up here. And like we always said, if it smells like crap, it usually is crap. So let's see if there's anything else before. There's this one that a lot of this totally just got bypassed because everything that was going on in the news. Republicans demand answers on Chinese hacking of Treasury Department. Completely went under the radar for a lot of news outlets because everybody wants to talk about the explosion and the boom booms and the terror stack, rightfully so. Republican lawmakers are demanding that the Biden administration provide answers on which China-sponsored group it believes is responsible for successfully hacking the Treasury Department last month. Senator Tim Scott and Representative French Hill demanded this week that the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen what's up with like I think old people are great because there's a lot of wisdom that's there, but sometimes there's not. Joe Biden, Janet Yellen, the lady that's the New Orleans Police Department lady that we saw that could not. It's not like she's getting on the mat every day, you guys, grappling with boys. You know what I'm saying? You put that chief out on the street, do a normal traffic stop with some 6'5" dude. No. Just, I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just using an example. You gotta say this stuff for the left. It's not for you guys. It's for the Democrats and the progressive left because they're not capable of understanding things. You gotta really explain it to them clearly. And even then, it's not enough. What's an example? No, you gotta give examples all the time. Oh, Donald Trump saying that Donald Trump called the guy an illegal immigrant when he didn't, wasn't here illegally. They're not capable of reading a tweet and actually understanding what somebody means and reading. They can't do it. Don't worry, they have PhDs and they're lecturing and they're doing all these stuff at universities and they're intellectuals. They're above the rest of us. This breach of federal government information is extremely concerning, lawmakers wrote on Tuesday. As you know, Treasury maintains some of the most highly sensitive information on the U.S. persons throughout government, including tax information, business beneficial ownership, and suspicious activity reports. Oh, you know who has a lot of these? Joe Biden. This information must be protected from theft and surveillance by foreign adversaries, including the Chinese Communist Party, who seeks to harm the United States, as such as the fact that the CCP-sponsored APT actor who is able to access Treasury's information systems is unacceptable and raises serious questions about the protocols for safeguarding sensitive federal government information from cybersecurity incidents. The U.S. Treasury first publicly commented on the hack on Tuesday, but it said it was first notified of the breach on December 8th in a letter to senators. Assistant Secretary of Management, I don't know how to pronounce that, noted the department believed a Chinese-backed intelligence group was behind the breach, calling a major cybersecurity threat. It's another example of somebody else having your information. That's lovely. That is lovely. But don't worry. No, they're doing great things over there at the DOJ, the FBI, all that stuff. Yeah, no, they're doing great things. Oh, you guys want? Oh, you need an example? Okay, gotcha. Well, the DOJ spent over $100 million pushing DEI, restorative justice, in classrooms. I have seen with my own eyes this right here. Now, I'm going to sum up restorative justice in a way that Democrats and the progressive left don't want to hear it. Restorative justice doesn't do jack shit. And I'm going to cuss there. You're right. The reason why is I have been in a school system before restorative justice was implemented. And I came back a year later after they've done it for 1 year. And the school was in complete chaos. Restorative justice, this is what happens. Somebody bullies or beats the crap out of your kid, right? Just pummels them. Nothing happens to the dude that just beat the crap out of your kid. What happens is they pull them into a room and they have a little kumbaya and they have to share their feelings with one another and apologize to each other and they have to talk it out. And that's it. Now there's other practices within restorative justice, but that's really the crux of it. Completely destroys schools, and there'll be schools go, oh, we implemented it and it's working for us. And the school has like 30 people. They call it RJ as well. If you see that, dude, you need to run. I'm dead serious. If you have a restorative justice practices in your school, I would take my kid out immediately and homeschool him if you can. Just that's coming from an educator. Just telling you what I think. I'm on your guys' side, just to let you know. I'm not one of those teachers that, man, can be women, women, girls. I don't talk about politics in the classroom. I teach what I need to teach, and I leave. Obviously, I act professional, right? You think I act like this at work? Are you crazy? I'm a different person. Polite, kind, try to be understanding, all that stuff. The Department of Justice spent over $100 million on proposals, promoting woke content in classrooms between 2021 and 2024. Oh, nice. An investigation conducted by Parents Defending Education, PDE, found that the Biden DOJ awarded $100 million through 102 grants throughout 36 states, impacting 946 school districts and upwards of 3 million K through 12 students. The funds were spent on proposals promoting restorative justice practices, social and emotional learning practices, and diversity, equity, and inclusion practices in the classroom. And then people don't want to listen to me say that everything is corrupt inside the education system. Grades are inflated. They're not real. Your son or daughter's not really learning anything. If you want to know the honest truth, and I don't even know why I'm saying honest, I always give you guys the honest truth. If you want to know what normal education looks like nowadays, your kids should be taking AP classes. When we were all in school, I'm turning 36 this year in a couple months. If I had to correlate this, and this is how I explain the education system to anybody. So even if we were grabbing a drink or whatever, you say, hey, can you give me an analogy of what you think the education system like is nowadays? College is the new high school. That's what that is. High school is the new middle school. Middle school is the new, probably, I'll just say K through fifth. I mean, that's what it is. And then elementary school is just babysitting. That's the best analogy I could possibly give you. And so if you wanted your kid to get like an education like we did or better, or about the same, I would say not even better, I would say the same, is they have to be in AP classes. So AP classes nowadays is like general education for what we did in school. Anything below that, all inflated, all faked. It's not real. You're not learning anything. And that's why these kids are going to colleges and they're failing. And some universities are catering to that fail rate and they're trying to lower their standards so they can pass. That's why, you guys, if you want to get into the nitty gritty, these college professors, and even in the public school system, they're altering their grade books so these people could pass. You might see a grade letter and everything's been curved. Like grades have been lowered, right? Oh, everybody failed. Cool. Well, everybody all of a sudden passed. I curved it 30%. Y'all learned something. The shit you're talking to a stats person. The stuff you can do with a grade book is insane. And that's what they're doing in the public education system. That's what they're doing at these universities. These kids aren't learning. University's supposed to be for education. You're supposed to go there to learn, not to party and drink your ass off. But don't worry, don't listen to me. I'm just sounding the alarm for the last 4 years and nobody wants to have a conversation about it. I have sent countless emails and messages to any content creator out there in the ether. Not a single one wants to have a conversation about it. Nobody wants to face the hard truth. And it doesn't have to be with me. It doesn't even have to be with me. It can be with anybody. Nobody wants to talk about it. At the end of the day, here's my conclusion. Nobody gives an actual shit as long as they're passed through the system, whatever. They got an education, got a job, they're good. Nobody cares. People will shout and scream that they care, and this is what I'm slowly learning. The bigger that I get as a content creator, this is what I'm slowly learning. People just come out and espouse a bunch of stuff, but I'm not so sure they actually are, one, serious about it, and two, really care. Maybe they are. But they don't want to actually get to the grassroots of what is the problem, how to fix it, and then how do we move forward. They just like to go, well, there's this happening, and it's happening. Okay, well, let's talk about the actual problem there, and do you want to be serious and fix it? And let's talk about somebody that actually sees it every day. They don't want to do that. That's what I found. I could be wrong, but how many emails you need to send to somebody say, hey, this is what's going on in the education system. Maybe you should talk about it with somebody that's actually in the education system so you get some behind the scenes of what's going on. They don't want to. And if anybody's been with me for all 4 years, you know that I've talked about this for 4 freaking years. Well, they just lowered the standards. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's bad. You actually can pass down without doing anything. Your average high school graduate can't read, can't add or subtract or do basic mathematics. They completely fail without a calculator. Yeah. People think we're joking, by the way. You have people going to high school, you guys, that don't know what 2 times 2 is. And if you think I'm joking, I am not. They don't know what 4 times 4 is. They don't know what 8 times 8 is. I don't need to go. You guys are I'm going to lose it because nobody wants to have the conversation that kids can't read. You'll be lucky if you have 30-40% of your kids graduating high school at grade level. That's considered like a district unheard of. And what happens is to say that, oh, a lot more kids are reading at grade level. What do? They lower the standards. That's why there's no high school exit exam anymore, because nobody can pass it. That's why they removed the SAT, ACT, because those kids couldn't do it and get into colleges anymore. So if you just lower the standards, it's okay. Everybody passes through, comes out, doesn't know anything. And then they're all indoctrinated because of this. The funds were awarded through the Justice Department Stop School Violence Program, which provides grant money to school districts, nonprofits, and city and state governments through projects that increase school safety by implementing solutions that will improve school climate. I'm going to cuss right now. This is all BS. It's all BS. They don't care about school safety. You know how many kids get the crap beat out of them every day and all that bullying still taking place and they're not removed from the classroom? Because they do it to teachers all the time. That's why Donald Trump's implementing that if you threaten a teacher, like you physically harm them, you're expelled from the school. Teachers are physically harmed every day. Nobody talks about all this. I'm telling you, there's an epidemic and nobody listens to me. And it's frustrating. I have friends that have been stabbed. I have a friend in Nevada that had 2 kids plotting a shooting on him with over 300 messages going between back and forth. The DA wouldn't prosecute them. They were pulled out of the classroom with full-fledged evidence. When they were going to shoot him, how they were going to shoot him, when they were going to do it, where they were going to harm him. They were going to hold him hostage in the room, what day they were going to do it on. They had all this information. 5th grade, by the way. Kids were back in the classroom with him the next day. I will put my hand on the Bible, God honest truth. He walked off the job site, never returned. Yeah. No, it's completely normal. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about it, though. But everybody cares, right? Everybody cares, yeah. People getting stabbed, beaten the shit out of, teachers being killed, shot by 6th graders. Yeah. Whatever. That's normal. Yeah, it's fine. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, that's what we're told. Now, how are you going to fix my kid? That's not my job. I'm not your kids. I'm not a parent. I'm not there to indoctrinate your kid. I'm there to teach them math. The climate phrasing, according to PDE, typically means replacing exclusionary discipline, removing the disruptor from the classroom. But they don't. With restorative justice practices, bringing the offender and victim to... There you go. There you go. Did I not say it? Restorative practices bring the offender and victim together to discuss what happened and repair harm. Or social emotional learning, which is all about empathy and laced with LGBTQ ideology. Wild. Wild. You want to know the solution to all this rather than me moaning, bitching, complaining? Consequences. That's literally it. If you don't do what you need to do, if you don't learn, you fail. That's it. We have consequences as adults. I know even the left is trying to remove those, right? You go stab somebody and be fine, right? No cash bail. It's fine. Oh, you stole $1,000 of somebody else's property. No big deal. Go back out and do it again. We saw how that all works. So it's from the bottom up. That's why Generation Z, do all the research you want on this, has a 50% mental health problem. And then when there's consequences that unravel from their actions, their minds are blown. The reason why their minds are blown, and a lot of employers aren't hiring them because of all these things, is because of the lack of consequences. That's why you see all these people kicking and screaming when they get pulled over and they don't want to deal with the police officer. So the police officer throws them out of the car and smashes their face into the pavement, and their minds are completely blown and because they got away with their entire life doing whatever the hell they want and had no consequences. Nothing happens. And so how's that evolve is, well, if you don't have consequences your entire life, then it doesn't matter what type of behavior you do, and you having to better or change yourself, whether that's for an individual level or societal standards of level, doesn't matter. You can just act like an idiot and get away with everything. And, well, here we are as a society. So, our job is to teach. That's it. I mean, it is game over. This whole idea that we've progressed and like started adding in all these things. Well, my son or daughter didn't understand what you're saying. That's a part of learning. How many times do you say something to your kid at home and they still don't get it? So what do you have to do? You have to go home and what? Figure it out. Welcome to the world. Folks, somebody could teach you something on YouTube and you still might not get it. So do you go blame the guy on YouTube, or do you go, hey, I need to go figure this out because this is important to me? And that's the crux of the issue. It's not important to anybody. Education is not important to anybody. They don't value it. If you value something, you'd put your entire heart, soul into it. You don't value it. Not wrong. Lower the standard. The irony is the age of mass communication and instant information. People are getting dumber. Yes. Like I said, the American IQ dropped for the first time in 100 years. And anything you do is considered child abuse, grounding. Yep, exactly. Oh, it's getting worse, Joanne. They're talking about in the state of California, if you don't affirm your child, you are so spot on, Brad. Thank you. If you don't affirm your child's gender, you can have them removed from the house. Brad is spitting facts. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so I'm not off my rocker. I'm telling you, when I talk about this stuff, most people don't even care. They don't really care. I called the cops and I told them where I was staying wouldn't let me spank the kids were violent. Yep. Kids have more rights than you guys do. Look, I used to get spanked all the time and I'm grateful for it because pain, you remember pain. And I'm not saying every kid needs to be spanked and raised that way, but some kids do. So, anywho, enough of that. I feel like we should have ended on a good note. Can we end on a good note here? Can we look at something? Is there anything here that's a good note in the news before we leave? I don't like moaning and complaining. But really, if you wanted to fix the education system, you need some harsh consequences on them. Yeah, if you get in a fight, like, yeah, maybe suspended, but 2 fights or whatever, you're just expelled. Go find another school. Your parents have to deal with it. It's not the school's fault. Maybe come in there as a stand-up citizen. If you can't behave in a school with other people, then maybe you don't belong in school. And if your parents don't want to figure it out for you, which I understand some people can't, well, maybe you need to be sent off somewhere. I don't know. Like to a boarding school or some governmental institution, something. Parents spank their kids with love. If I spank your kid in the malice, because especially when they're normally good and they picked up bad behavior from others, that's one thing. Can we talk about that real quick? Are you guys cool with that? I'm sure you will be. there's a lot of conversation about privatizing education from the conservatives like me or from the Republican Party. What I have seen is people, when they privatize education, are going to go not where they're necessarily getting the best education, but where they can get the grade for their kid to go into a good university. That's what I have seen. And with the school vouchers, I really wanted to have a conversation with like Ben Shapiro or somebody about this topic, and I have reached out to their producers about it. I don't know if I've ever actually told you this. Is there's a lot of conversation about culture, right? Politics is downstream of culture. This is something Ben Shapiro talks about, the guys at the Daily Wire, the Blaze, like every conservative Republican talks about how politics is downstream of culture. What I find fascinating is they talk about how the schools in the inner city aren't good, which is very odd to me because math hasn't changed for 3,000 years. It's the same math. It doesn't really change. You could teach it different ways, but it's all the same. It's come from the textbook. We haven't really changed it all that much, folks. If it's downstream of culture, then when you want to allow vouchers for somebody coming from the inner city that might be gang-ridden, like a gang-ridden individual coming into a nicer school district because that's what the parents want, what I have seen with my own eyes, it doesn't matter what school district you go into, the kids with the bad behavior tend to take that bad behavior and it gets pushed onto everybody else. And the kids think it's cool. They think the guy that's a gang member is cool. And it's funny to them that, oh, wow, look at that kid acts stupid. Well, it's okay to act stupid too. It's the oddest thing to me. And so what I have seen is that when you bring in bad behavior into good schools, that bad behavior, it just basically taints and poisons the entire culture of that school. And then what happens is parents get pissed off. And so the school has to keep lowering their standards because they feel that you're targeting the kids for dress coding or, well, they did this wrong. Well, why does my kid keep being brought in for drugs? I don't know. Maybe they're doing drugs and hanging out with people with drugs, like all these things. And that's how you cripple a school system. So have that conversation with people about school vouchers. It sounds really great on the outside, but if you're all about culture as well, you could change a school culture. And you know what they'll say? They go, well, if we just held them accountable, they would be fine. Yes, correct. But you're not and haven't done so for 20 years. So this idea that, oh, well, we'll just do a voucher program, it'll fix the problem. You know, the kids getting out of the inner city and they're going to get a better education. Math, English, all that stuff, the STEMs, the English stuff has not changed. I want to say that for hundreds of years has not changed. You going home because you didn't understand something in the classroom, you still have a textbook. You still have a phone. You can learn anything you want. There's ChatGPT. You guys, you could literally talk. No, we're going to do this now. I'm going to do this right now. ChatGPT on my phone. Let's listen together. This is live, by the way. Hey, can you tell me the difference between a random variable and a discrete random variable for an AP statistics course?
Sure. In AP statistics, a random variable is a variable that takes on numerical values based on the outcomes of a random phenomenon. It can be thought of.
Can you explain? I'm sorry, hold on a second. You're speaking. Can you speak to me like I'm in middle school? Because I completely don't understand anything you're talking about right now.
Of course. A random variable is just a way to represent possible outcomes of something that involves chance. A discrete random variable is a type of random variable that can only take specific separate values, like whole numbers. For example, the number of students in a class or the result of rolling a die. Does that help?
That helps a little bit, but I'd really appreciate it. I learn better if you talk in an English accent. Can you say that all over again, but sound like a British person to me? I just understand things better like my friend Shib.
Absolutely. A random variable is like a way.
Can you do it in a British accent?
Sure. A random variable represents the possible outcomes of a random event. A discrete random variable specifically.
Can you do it like an action movie? I just learned better that way.
Sure. Imagine you're on a mission and you've got this special tool called a random.
Can you do it in an action movie voice like we heard from the 90s?
All right. Picture this. You're on a high stakes.
All right, you get it. But remember, nobody can learn nowadays. Yeah, no, it's the teacher's fault. It's the education system that's failing you. It's everybody else's fault. And that's why I'm going to end it with this: a lack of personal responsibility in our culture. It's everybody else's fault. The teacher's not teaching, the administration's not administering, right? Nobody's doing anything, but it's everybody else's fault rather than the individual's fault, when you can literally open up your phone and learn anything you want like that. But don't worry, yeah, you can't learn anything. I'm going to say this one more time. Teachers teach. And as somebody that wasn't a teacher for the majority of their career, right? I'm coming from public accounting. Everybody teaches. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap. If you have 36 people in the classroom, you're not going to reach all 36 people. You might not learn the way that's best fit to your needs. Welcome to public education. Go online, learn something. Really what it comes down to. You know what? Let's do this. I don't want to end on that. I really don't. I'm going to give you a list of books that I've read over the last, 3 days. So, I read Glenn Beck's book, Dark Future, which is a follow-up of his book, The Great Reset. So if you haven't seen that, here, I'll show you. Actually, people have been buying Dark Future along with my book on Amazon. So this is Dark Future. That's this book here. I read this book. So this is a follow-up from his book, The Great Reset. And that's this book here. So I read this book, The Great Reset, and then I read Dark Future. It's all within the last 4 or 5 days. And then I read this book, The Propaganda Wars. What else did I read? Zodiac by I read this one here. By Robert Graysmith. I read that yesterday. I read this entire book yesterday. So if you want to read about the Zodiac, that was pretty good. Operation Paperclip. I read this book, Operation Paperclip. I read a lot if you guys haven't. I get kind of nerdy, but I don't show it here on the show. Act like a knucklehead. Operation Paperclip by Annie Jacobson. She also has a new book out about nuclear warheads and stuff like that. So if you want to learn about Operation Paperclip. God, there's so many. There was another one. 1776. David McDougall. Yeah. So I read 2 of his books. I probably won't read them. So I read 1776. And then I read his John Adams book. It's not very. Yeah, I read this one. These are misses. I would say if you want to read good history books, there's a great book here called Patriots. History of the United States. Now don't read Howard Zinn. That's revisionist. I don't see it here. Well, there's a book called The Patriots History of the United States. It's like 1,400 pages. That's a good book as well. Yes, I've read Orwell's 1984. I do have a copy of that as well. You want to read this book? This is a phenomenal book to read if you guys haven't already. That's my book. It's a good book. Liberty says same, yet our kids are also our best friends now that they're older and very appreciate all of it. Yeah, exactly right. Brad, have you read 1984? Reading is sadly a dying art. Yeah. A lot of people read on Kindles. I can't do Kindle. I have to have I am crazy when it comes to books. See, it's a Friday episode. We can have a little bit of fun here. I'm weird. So when I go to Barnes & Noble or Amazon, my book, 1, has to be hardcover. And 2, it has to be pristine. So if you look at my bookshelves, all my books look brand new, even though I've read them. There's not even a crease in them. So I'm weird like that. Even the oils on my hands, I don't want my hands have to be clean when I read. I'm weird like that. The more you know about me, I'm actually a really clean person. I hate mess. I just don't like it. Animal Farm. Yep. 1984 is great. Anything Thomas Sowell related, is phenomenal. One of his books I have, Social Justice, was okay. This was one of his best books ever. I've read it 3 times. discrimination and disparities. This will blow your mind. If I had to recommend a book like right now to buy, I would say get this. This will change you. I used a lot of what he talked about in my novel, like his same ideology. There's another one that's called Thomas Sowell, Cosmic Justice. Quest for Cosmic Justice is also a very great book. Read this a couple times. Anything with Dostoevsky, like Crime and Punishment, are very good books to read. Let me show you this site. Let me see if he still has it up. I think it'll be great. Jordan B. Peterson. So Jordan B. Peterson used to have on his site a book list of books that, yeah, see, if you go to Jordan B. Peterson, here is books. I'll post in the chat for you guys. If you're looking for like, hey, like I just need like a source to go to that has a bunch of books. He obviously has his books here. I have not read Maps of Meaning. It's something I want to do, but I've heard it's very difficult to read it. Not like it's a bad read. It's just very cognitively intensive. But here's a list, right, of all the books that would be highly recommended for all of us to read. So some of them aren't exactly the great, but they're listed, right, by like psychiatry. A lot of Jung. The Fall and Rise of the Third Reich. I've tried to get through. It's a very thick book. It's long. I have this on my shelf, still chiseling away. Just a couple more that I'll give you guys that I think are great. One book that I thought was awesome. Well, there's The Bell Curve by Charles Murray. This is also a great book. Hopefully it's not boring you guys. The Bell Curve is awesome because this is all based on stats and talks about a normal distribution curve, but it correlates to people's general intelligence. And you'll hear me talk a lot about certain things, and it actually comes from this book here. So The Bell Curve by Charles Murray. It's a huge book. And then this book is kind of cool. Signature of the Cell by Stephen Meyer. This book, if you're somebody that believes or is struggling to believe in a higher being, this takes biology and statistics and basically proves that there has to be an intelligent being that has designed us and created us just based on those two things. It's not even about, so if you're like, I struggle with religion, I struggle with miracles and all those things, this will mess you up, man. But I will say you need to know a lot about statistics and you need to know a lot about biology to get through this book. One thing I lack in is biology, and I was telling my buddy that knows a lot about bio and physics and chem that I want to give it a slower read through to spend time researching the biology of all of it. So enough of me nerding out and geeking out. I can go on this forever, but I appreciate all of you. And the Thomas Sowell Reader is a superb place to start. There you go. There you go. Look at all of us trying to educate one another. Haven't read that book since high school in the late 60s. I've forgotten most of it. So I challenge you, my friend, to read it this year, and I will read it too. There you go. Are you guys talking about 1984 Orwell or Animal Farm? Animal House? Trying to see what book you guys are talking about. Oh, Trojan Horse. Maybe you're talking about Trojan Horse. I don't know. All righty. Well, I hope you guys have a lovely weekend. I might be back today with like a casual video or something like that. Thank you to everybody that contributed to the show, especially Q1969, San Wu, I believe is how you say your name. Thank you for joining the Bald Brad Army, man. Greatly appreciate you. I saw it posted. I want to make sure I get to that. So we have a new Bald Brad Army member. Thank you. I appreciate you. Happy New Year, Patriots. Brad, thanks for all the laughs and receipts. Thank you for the $20, sir. Greatly appreciate, sir, ma'am. Q1969. I'm so used to, for so long, I thought Q was a dude and it's a girl. Paralegal, very smart, by the way. I know, Karen, let's comment on that. I did send Dylan an email. I tried to fix it yesterday. I really did. They said that I needed to connect it again, but I couldn't. So I'm trying to get that figured out. So I did try it yesterday right after the show. I really did. I promise. I don't know why. I don't know if I have to delete my locals account and then do it that way. Dylan said that, hey, we just need to unconnect it and reconnect it. But I don't know if he was sick yesterday. He just didn't get back to me, which is okay. But I'm trying to work on it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to fix it, to be honest. And that was my email. I said, I don't know. Am I supposed to have a place where I can reconnect it? So we're trying to figure it out. Not sure what's going on, but it is being done. Appreciate y'all. Hope you're all doing well. Have a lovely weekend. We'll be back to only hour-long episodes starting Monday because I go back to work. And with that being said, I hope you have a lovely weekend. Take care of one another. And I'll probably... Oh, Spooky Adventures has stuff out, you guys. I don't know if you saw. Spooky Adventures is back. We did a video last week. So if you were looking for that, it's there. Just saying. Spooky's back. You guys been asking for it. I did a long video. Let's see if I can post it for you guys if I have it anywhere. Let me see. Before I leave here. I can't find it. Anyways, it's there for you guys. You guys were asking. I made sure I did one over the weekend. So we'll do another one probably. With that being said, take care of one another. Thank you guys. Enough of me ranting, raving, rambling. Have a nice weekend. I'll see you next time here on The Bald Brad Show. Take care, Patriots.